It's Ben Maiden here, and I've got Natalie with me. We're going to just do a run through of downloading WordPress, installing it on a server, and Natalie, you're going to ask me some questions if I don't cover everything properly. So, you ready to go?
Yep.
Good.
Sure am.
Good stuff. All right. Well, I'm going to download WordPress. So first of all, download. So we're on the WordPress.org website. We're just going to get the blue button. We're just going to download the zip file. So down it comes. It's just downloading here, and it's appearing in my downloads folder, which is just here. So we've got WordPress 3.32. It's just downloaded. That's good. And now what I've done is I've set up got a cPanel account, and this is what we were talking about, Natalie, of actually having like an account on a web hosting service. So for me, I just go to www. The domain name we're working on is learnwordpress.com.au/cPanel, and it'll prompt me to log in. Yep, and I've already logged in, and that's how I got here. So you can see my cPanel window. That's what you'd log in there, and then you end up there. Okay? So have you got one of these for your hosting account?
I do.
Okay, so in you go, you get to here. Now it's full of stuff. I mean, most of them have heaps and heaps of features that you don't even need, or you would barely ever touch. We're only going to look at one or two things, really. First of all, we're going to look at is the file manager. And the reason we're going to use the file manager, although we could use FTP, what we're going to do, and because I've got lots and lots of websites on this installation, we're just going to go to the one we're working on today. So that's how your website would normally be. And the website we're working on here is WP99 learnwordpress.com.au. Now that's totally empty. Yeah, can you still see my screen okay?
Yep.
Yep, so it's totally empty. And that makes sense. I'll just get rid of that login window. That makes sense because the file manager, when I look at the files, it's totally empty here as well. Now I could just create a file, so a new file, test.html. So there's a blank HTML file, just with no bytes or anything. And if I refresh this window, there it is. Yep. So this is the files, and this is how the web browser sees it. Now, WordPress is made up of all the files that you download from WordPress.org. That's those ones. So we're going to put these into this folder. Now, in my downloads here, I could unpack this. So my computer has just unpacked that, and I've got all of these files here. So I could use my FTP program and just upload them all one by one, but definitely don't do that. What you need to do is just upload the whole zip file. So I'm going to upload this whole zip file, and the reason it's more reliable, or the reason why I do it, is it's more reliable because if you upload the whole zip file and unpack it using cPanel, you know that all of the files have transferred and they're all up there reliably. You know, they're all there. Whereas if you do them all one by one, there's hundreds of files there, and if one of them doesn't upload, you might not know until 6 weeks down the line when somebody's trying to access something on the website and doesn't work quite right. So this is what I do. I upload a WordPress zip file. So up it goes. It's just uploading. It's going to take a little while. But while it's doing that, we can go back to this area and we're going to do the other thing. So there's two parts to WordPress. Firstly, there's all the files. All the HTML, PHP, all of that sort of stuff. And secondly, there is the MySQL database. And the reason why I started typing in here is it's here in the list somewhere. Well, there it is down there, but it's easier just to type find MySQL. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set up a database, okay? Because there's a bit underneath WordPress. Can you still see my screen okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. Okay, so we're going to click through. Now, just convention, I always just use the same as the sub account that I'm working on, but you could just put, you know, database or whatever you want here. Now the database is going to be called one thing, and the way I do it is I usually call the user. So we've added the database called learnwp underscore WP99, and the username I've put in, I'm actually just going to call it the same thing, so learnwp underscore WP99. So we're creating two different things here. We're creating a database, and we're creating a sort of a database user that can talk to the database. Now, we're never going to use this apart from when we first do the installation of WordPress, because all we're going to do is going to tell WordPress how to talk to the database, and then we're going to forget about it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So then we just grab a password, copy that, and we say, so we're using the wizard really in cPanel here. Okay, now create that user, and now cPanel says, well, hang on a minute, you've now got a database and you've got a user with this password, and I've copied that password to my clipboard right now. Yeah, basically now I've got to give it some privileges, some rights to talk to the database. You just click all, say next, and that means that the user learnwp underscore WP99 has been added to the database with all of those privileges. So it can now talk to that database however it wants. So we just go back to the home, and this other tab, there, that one, yeah, it's done that 4 megabytes of upload. So that's great, happy with that. So if I click there, that's going to close this window. And over here, there it is. Well, you know I'm in Australia because you've got the home ice cream guy outside with his bell. Excellent. Yeah, really glad about that with the video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unpack this WordPress video. Not WordPress video, unpack this WordPress zip file. Yep. And the way you do that is just right click and then extract. Okay, so it's just telling me it's just extracted it all and put it into the WordPress folder. So close. Alright, it's not actually refreshed for some reason, so I just hit reload, tell us all about it. Yeah, there you go. There's the WordPress file. There's that little test file that I created earlier. Let's just get rid of that one. Go away. And now, when you refresh in here, okay, we've got the WordPress zip file that we downloaded from wordpress.org to my computer, and then I uploaded it using the file manager. Well, we really don't need that anymore. And here is the WordPress folder that was created. So I can actually install WordPress here, but you don't want to do that. Can you tell me why we don't want to do that?
I'm not really sure.
Because look at the address up at the top. Your website would end up being, you know, soandso.com.au/WordPress.
Oh, okay, yeah, the URL. Yep.
Yeah, your URL actually is a reflection of where the stuff is. So unfortunately, when you unpack WordPress, the zip file, it puts it into a subfolder. I say unfortunately, but you know that's just the way that zip files work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this folder, just going to select all the files, and we're going to move them, and I'm going to delete this WordPress. I'm just going to take it away and I'm going to put it in the folder that's one level above. So off they go. Well, they're gone now. Great. Okay. So now we'll go back up one level, and now all those files are here. Now also in there is this empty folder, WordPress, and there's also this zip file, WordPress 332 zip. Well, strictly speaking, we can delete that and we can delete this. So let's just get rid of that folder. Don't need that anymore. Let's just get rid of that zip file too. There you go. Now, what happens if I refresh here? I've just deleted this folder, so it's all going to go wrong. But that's good. That's what we're expecting. So let's just go back to the domain name. There you go, configuration file. So now what it wants is you've got to have a database name, database username, database password, database host. Well, the good thing is that we were just doing that. We were just working on that. So, do you remember what the database name was?
WP, learn WP.
Yep, learn WP and then 99. Yep, and we made it the same for this one as well. 99. The username and the database name, they were the same. And I've always just kept that in the clipboard. So when I was working, I just saved it. But you could just put it in a text file while you're working. Now, when you're doing this on cPanel, almost always your database is going to be on the same computer as your website lives. So localhost is what you need. And normally you would just leave the table prefix to be exactly what it is here, WP. You can change it. There are arguments to say it's a more secure installation if you change it, but let's leave it the same. These two you just leave as they are when you first get it. You submit that, and it does a check to see whether those details are correct, and they work. If you get anything wrong, it'll actually say, yeah, something's wrong, try again. But in this case, it's saying, yeah, that's right, you can install me now. You say run the install. Alright, so we're part of the way through the installation, and this is Ben's WP99 website. Now, I would normally, always change this. You don't want this to be called admin. Just call it something else, Ben M, something like that. And then you just pick a password of some kind. Make it nice and strong. Make sure it matches. Put your email address in. As we're building it on a temporary domain name, I wouldn't let it be seen in the search engines yet, not until we're ready to publish it. Install WordPress. Save the password. Yeah. And there we go. There's your installation of WordPress, all the way from a cPanel account, all the way through to landing on the dashboard for the first time.